Oh boy. Guys, I am so exhausted. I'm so exhausted. Wee. So I fell asleep editing this episode and just woke up to get this puppy uploaded. I need some coffee. Oh god. I hope you guys had a great Halloween weekend. And if you don't celebrate Halloween, I just hope you had an excellent weekend. This episode was a blast to record with my very special guest and super best friend, Jix, otherwise known as the TF Trickster. He and I have been friends on DA for quite a while. He was under a different username at the time, and he's made this TF Trickster account strictly for some Kisekai work. He's trying to get his way into the world of Kisekai, so please guys, go check him out at the-tf-trickster.deviantart.com. The link will also be down in the description, doobly-doo. He's a really nice guy, super sweet, super awesome to have on the episode. This episode being all about the amazing superheroes and their amazing superpowers. True believers! Excelsior! That's my awful Stan Lee impression, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Glad that everyone is now closing their browser. This is also a very bad impression to do when you're getting sick. That's right. I went out Halloween night. All my friends took their kiddos out trick-or-treating, so I tagged along and very stupidly got sick because it snowed in Indiana. Anyway, guys, this is a really quick disclaimer. There are some subjects discussed in this episode that may potentially bother some of you, so listener discretion is advised. Jix and I talk about some gender identity issues. There's a lot of frustration that can come with that, I understand, but it's something that he's quite passionate about, and he wanted to talk about it, and I was happy to have him here to kind of stand on a soapbox and deliver his words. For many of you listeners, you guys may be able to understand where he's coming from on some of these issues. And if you do, please, guys, go check him out, talk to him, become friends with the guy. He's super likable. I get along with him great, and I'm sure all of you will too. That being said, gang, our Kisekai group, it's all about acceptance. It's all about love. You guys all get along well with each other. Please don't let something like this, a difference that you may have in opinions, don't let something like that push you guys into giving him a hard time or anything like that. Because if you give him a hard time, I'll do something about it. I swear to God. I'll wave my mighty fist at my monitor and curse you, damn it. Jeez, please try to be considerate and respectful of Jix's views on some of these matters, please. So without further ado, guys, the KiseCast After Hours, Episode 2, Superheroes! About when you had worked at the farm, and I remember because you used to use the you had a different DA account called Multiverse Furzen 119, I believe it was.
Oh my God, you know about that. Well, I had an account before that.
Oh, you had one before that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Originally, I wanted to use Multiverse Furzen as an account for writing, but I never got the motivation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember, because that was the first account that I remember. Like, you and I used to talk a lot under that account, and I thought you were really cool. You're a really nice person to talk to, and you were always really kind. And I remember you had written a journal about working at the farm, and then there was a coworker of yours who was apparently she was really sweet, and then she had left, and you kind of felt like all your friends were gone from work.
Well, I still do have. Well, she was a colleague that she was one of the bosses, let's say it like that, because I don't know another name. And I could talk really well with her. She was actually one of the few people who I talked about my fetishes, and she was okay with the whole thing. And you couldn't really call her a friend. It was more like we were very close acquaintances, because we had, well, the age difference was huge, like 20 years or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but she was a good person, and I saw her at the barbecue. Really nice.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, she works now at a restaurant.
But she was one of the first people that you kind of talked about your fetishes and your interests with her, and she didn't judge you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to other friends, another person that I knew through that work also quickly found out about it, but was fine with it, but was teasing me with it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But on the bright side, you have Fetish Girl, who I saw you had made a submission about talking about yourself, and you were sending your thanks to her for being compassionate and being understanding and open, which is awesome. I've seen that she's very open to a lot of stuff in her gallery, and she has a lot of people, especially in the Kisekai community, that she does, a lot of collaborative work with, and she seems extremely nice. I've talked to her a few times. It's been a while since I've spoken to her, but she has an incredible gallery, and I'm really happy that she's been, talking with you about things and willing to listen and just being a good friend to you.
Yeah, I really appreciate her friendship really much, because I had a lot of trouble with talking with women, and I can easily say she's the most respected woman I know in my entire life, because I could finally openly talk about the fetishes that I have. That really helped me just with my mood also when I felt down, and she had a lot of work, and she's also very busy in real life, but when I get to talk to her, she cheers me up just because, well, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and she is indeed a compassionate person, and even if you have a different opinion than her, she's completely fine with that. Well, there are a few fetishes that go a bit too far for her own taste, and I agree with her in that, but we don't bother those people, obviously.
Sure.
So, she is one of the main people I talk about with fetishes, and she was the first person I talked to that was involved in the Kisekai community. I also watched Koima and later Klaus with Kisekai, which is basically Rai. Later on it's also Sbolio, if I pronounce that right, because I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
I don't know how to pronounce it either.
I know him, her, I don't know with which pronoun I have to speak about her, because from what I know, I think he identifies as she or something. That was a conversation between me and her, or him.
Yeah, I've come across quite a few people on DA who, they would tell me, they'd be very open and honest with me about, I prefer to be referred to as she. But for the most part, everyone that I've talked to in regards to that, they've always been really cool about, any time that I may accidentally say he, they're not quick to get angry with me or to too quick to correct me. And a lot of times if I accidentally say he when we're talking online, they'll say something a little later of, hey, don't forget I prefer to be she, and it snaps in my head and I'm like, oh, I forgot, because I do the same thing. I made mention of it in the previous episode with Dengeki that I have quite a few gay friends, and one of my best friends, his brother is a drag queen, and he has a lot of friends who prefer to go by she, and they're going like the full 9 yards and getting like they have breast implants, and they're planning full surgery for turning their penises into vaginas. So like they're very adamant about, no, I am a woman. Like, you do not address me as being a guy. They're much more strict about their gender identity, whereas a lot of the people that I've talked to on DA, they're more like, well, I prefer to go by a girl, so please call me, by my girl name.
Yeah.
Now, you have an alias as well, right? Or I don't want to say an alias, but you also have your Jenny moniker.
Yes, I recently thought of her name. But yeah, that's because I'm found out I'm gender fluid, as it's called. That some days I feel like a man, some days I'm a woman, and some days I feel androgynous. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's okay.
I just want to also create a female identity, I guess.
For English not being your first language, you do a very good job not only speaking but writing.
Yeah, thanks. Jenny and Chicks are just basically me. I like to imagine myself in these kind of universes. I always create a character that is going to resemble me, personality-wise mostly. Although Jigs is also based on my physical appearance as a guy.
No, I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool, actually. And so, like the days where you feel a little more feminine, I mean, Jenny kind of represents that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Jenny is basically my female self. And I'm, to be honest, really proud of that I created her. And like I said, I really like to imagine myself in these fictional stories. And some people do that, some don't. But I just like that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just really like to imagine myself in a different universe where the fetish that I have can be realized, I guess.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's really no different than say mine. Like I have my character in my sort of made-up universe, and I mean, it's weird to some people that I have a character who has basically like a harem of these attractive, busty girls in glasses who, want to jump his bones. That's me in that world, but I mean, in real life, I'm a schlubby guy who, nobody pays any attention to me in real life. So it's a fantasy for me still too, and I like to think that everybody's pretty supportive in our community. Now, have you thought about doing kind of like Sabalio's account where you'll have more stories of maybe Jenny transforming other people or whatever?
Well, I don't know exactly which direction I want to take, and the stories I'm writing right now, I see them mostly as practice, because I'm just beginning. I don't know what direction I want to go and what kind of gender bending I want to do. Like, Sabalio has her style of usually cute, adorable girls with sometimes glasses, sometimes she also has her SSS rounds. And yeah, I'm just looking for a style, yes.
I'm guessing you don't want to completely mimic what Savalio is doing. You want to come up with something unique and more fitting to you.
Yeah, I do like her style very much. I don't want to mimic others, or else I will feel original, or I feel like I'm using someone else's idea, and I really don't like that, even if they have no problem with that. I have also characters I haven't used yet that I created, and yeah, because I just don't know what direction I want to go with them. Like Lucille, I recently mentioned in my last story, only a bit, that she is the owner of the club where Lulu works as a hunter. Yeah, that last story where this trainee maid harasses the woman there. It's like some dumb justification, just so I can gender rent him. One thing I do notice is that I like women with black hair for some reason. That's the thing of mine. Yeah, didn't you see the girl I created in the story, black hair and everything. She was based on Hinata from Naruto and Shizuku from Camphor or Loxy. Mostly her clothes were something, I just wanted to do something sexy because I can. I don't want to go in one direction where I suddenly only make girls with long black hair, because that seems to be most of the anime girls I seem to like.
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Okay.
This is freaking crazy. So...
am I freaking you out?
No. My Firefox browser, it crashed, and it reopened all of my windows, and so I just missed, like, I don't know, maybe the last minute of conversation. I thought that it was going to cancel the broadcast, but it's still going. So I missed, like, all of what you said for the last minute and a half or so. The last thing that I caught was about something about you and hair, because the connection was breaking up really bad, and I had asked, wait, what was that? And then you started to say it again, and then my connection just went out. So that was insane. Can you repeat what you said? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Just wait a moment. But what I want to say was that I seem to have attraction to girls with black hair for some reason. That seems.
Okay.
That seems one of the main things that influenced me, because if you look at that girl from my last story, which I named Jasmine because I couldn't think of another name, she was based on Naruto from...
Oh, really?
She was based on Hinata from Naruto, I mean.
Oh, I see, from the eyes, the white eyes.
The eyes and a bit of the shyness that I put in. But she was also based on Shizuku from Kent.
Oh, okay.
And that seems to be a thing of mine, that anime girls with long black hair seems to be one of the things that I seem to like a lot.
Oh, okay. No, I'm right there with you. But yes, girls with black hair are very, very attractive.
Mostly also because I don't see them ever in my country.
Oh yeah, you're in a land of blondes, aren't you?
Yeah, in Netherlands you seem to see a lot of blondes, some brunettes here and there. And if they have black hair, then it's mostly either painted black, or it's a very lucky chance they do have black hair. And I don't see many girls either that are pussy, as I'm attracted to that too. And, well, I don't see that much, as far as I know, because I don't stare too long at a woman.
That's good.
But it's probably also because I don't see them, and that's why I'm even more attracted to those kind of women for some reason.
Sure.
Also blue eyes. That's also one thing. Blue eyes, black hair, big chest. Yeah.
See, I'm very partial to red eyes, like your character Lucille. So now you are more of, in your opinion, you're more of a writer than an visual. I'm guessing, right?
Oh no.
Writer.
I prefer visuals. I was only good at drawing as a kid, and I never picked it up again after only doing it in my childhood. And well, writing, I didn't like writing without visuals because that's what I was doing in my past account. The KiseCast, I had visuals. For my stories, and then it feels a lot better to write like that with images on it.
I agree. Yeah. See, I've always wanted to do more writing too, but I was unfamiliar with that literature format that you did for your most recent story. The I forget what it's the one with Lucille.
When Lucille's mentioned. I can easily, the title was Being Evil is Fun!
Oh, that's right. Being evil is fun. Evil! So, that style of format, I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with that on DeviantArt. So, since you've introduced me to that, what I want to do is I want to kind of take that and start, doing more writing, and then just having an occasional picture here and there. I feel like to me that would be my favorite format to work with, and I've been on DA for 2 years and I had no idea that you could do that until I saw your piece.
Well, there was someone else who did that, which was Odachi, and I learned that through him that's the kind of format he used, and I somehow discovered it on Stash. It was pretty pure luck, most likely. It's the best format also for me because I think it's a bit of a hassle to create comics, because then all the words, all the talk bubbles or whatever you freaking call it, get in the way of the visuals, and yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest gripe with it, because there were scenes in some of the comics that I've made where it was like I had so much dialogue that I wanted to put into it, but I had to condense it all, and I had to cut sentences out because I couldn't fit everything in the word bubbles, and there just wasn't enough room in the picture, or it would start getting in the way. So I'm definitely going to start going that route that you've done with being evil for fun. I'm going to do that one for sure, and I'll give you credit because I've never seen it done before. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that do it, but it's new to me, and I can't thank you enough for showing me that, so I can start carrying that along with me.
You don't have to credit me for anything. It's just I'm just helping a fellow member of the KiseCast community, and well,
still, thank you for introducing it to me at least. And I'm really happy to see that you're doing stuff with KiseCast now. That makes me really happy. Because back when you had the Multiverse Furzin account, and we used to talk all the time, I remember you had told me about different ideas that you had, and I was always hoping that you would start using KiseCast. I think you were using KiseCast, but you just weren't uploading, right?
At some point when I was talking with Fetish Bureau, I started using KiseCast, and then I already created visuals for my first story. And I showed the designs of Lulu, Elena, and Jigs. Fetish Girl also really liked Lulu, from what I know. That was her favorite of the three.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she liked her design very much, from what I know. I was happy to hear that she liked my designs, and especially Lulu also has inspirations from Japanese mythology and Chinese history. Also influenced from a game called Dynasty Warriors, which is one of my favorite games. I like the Empires. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Then I created the TV Trickster account, and well, the rest, I created the story, I began working with Kisekai.
Well, you've got some really impressive stuff so far, man. I do have to say that. I really like all the characters that you have. You were talking about Fetish Girl liking Lulu. I had to jog my memory and go back, and why I completely forgot about Lulu, I do not know, because Lulu is right up my alley.
Really?
I am very fond of Lulu now, so...
Yeah, Lulu is pretty much a bit of the badass woman. So it is mostly... Lulu is one of the main characters, but I haven't done much with her compared to Helena, who is the witch that learns Jenny the magic she uses in the last story.
So, what is your background as an artist? Like, have you... and you mentioned something earlier, too, about how you used to draw as a kid, and then you didn't really do it as much anymore, but, what kind of led you to deviant art?
I was, before DA, I was on this community called World, which you basically you could create rooms and customize them, blah blah blah. It was basically Second Life, but different. And the people were dramatic there. Actually, I went there to, escape reality a bit, but it only, sometimes that community only made me feel worse.
Oh.
I also had good times, but most of the community is kind of toxic.
I see.
And there were a lot of things that I didn't understand, even why people would hide certain things about them. But people I knew, they stole artwork from artists on DA and recolored them. So
that's what kind of brought your DA to your attention.
Yes, there was this first piece of I discovered the first pieces of transformation and gender bending art, story art. I found multiple pieces, and then I found this comic which really shocked me and weirded me out, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It was this comic about some guy visiting a friend of his that was this fox anthropomorphic girl, and she gave him tea, and it turned out there was some kind of transformation potion in there, and then he turned into this female skunk Antro. Then later he also became a plushie.
A plushie, like a stuffed animal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have also inanimate transformation, but he could still kind of talk to that fox anthropomorphically, but that was part of her fetishy thing, that whole inanimate transformations.
Really? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, you have inanimate transformation, and then people I saw her gallery, and she really liked the idea of turning into plush animals.
Huh.
Yeah, but I was very weirded out by that, and it scared me. It scared the living shit out of me. The other transformation in general, and anthropomorphic creatures, and gender bending began to intrigue me. And transformation was a thing that actually intrigued me since I was a kid, because I had seen these episodes of certain of the series, and then the character would become something completely different, and that's one of the things that usually intrigued me already since a kid.
Sure.
And then gender bending is something that began to intrigue me, and I slowly got a curiosity in what would it be like to be a woman, and that curiosity really developed to an interest in being one, and well, that slowly developed to this day, I guess.
How old were you when you saw the inanimate transformation stuff?
I think around 15 when I
okay.
And
yeah, I saw some weird stuff too when I was a teenager that was like fetish material, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit too, because that was the first time I ever saw, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but I think it's called Guro anime, where like girls are getting dismembered and things like that, and that really scarred me back then.
Oh god, that kind of shit.
Yeah, like that's stuff that I can't wrap my head around. Like I know there are different levels of it, but once it gets into like disemboweling and beheading and stuff like that, like that's too extreme for me.
Yeah, the inanimate I can cope with now, but
now
I have no problem with this anymore. But the concept scared me in my younger years.
Now, you had also mentioned in your story about anthro, or furry, which I don't consider myself a furry, but I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of furry art out there that I do find incredibly attractive. Now, when did you kind of get into the anthro and furry fandom?
That was actually my first fetish. Transformation would become a later fetish, but I first was in the Sonic community, Sonic the Hedgehog, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I saw more erotic pictures of that, and I didn't know what they called it, and I talked with a girl that already had this fetish, and that it was called furries. Mm-hmm. Because I saw sprite work or artwork of anthropomorphic, I just fell in love with the entire fetish. It is, I'm more focused on gender bending, but I still like anthropomorphic stuff very much. My favorite female anthropomorphic kind of designs are usually cats or bunnies, stuff like that, Mm-hmm. They look adorable, but also it could be sexy-eyed.
Yeah, for me, there are two furry artists that I really like a lot. That he calls himself Nemesis, but he goes his name is Nemi303, and he does really busty furry art. And then the other one is Zafdig Bunny Press. And he makes, like, every month he makes a calendar for people, and I'm not gonna lie, I use his calendars, and they have this really, he always draws the same busty squirrel character, and she is very sexy. It's
mostly those kind of adorable animals that can make for really sexy anthropomorphic creatures usually, because they have the mix of the cuteness and the sexy you like.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see much artists doing the fusion. That's also a thing.
Yeah, I saw you had that on your list. You have an introduction submission in your gallery where you kind of break down a list of things that you're interested in. And I meant to ask you, what exactly is fusion?
Do you know Dragon Ball Z?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you do that whole fusion dancing or Potara earrings.
I gotcha, okay.
And
now I know.
They do, and fusion is also a category that's used in transformation. Svalio even made a piece of fusing three girls. Alex, Samantha, and Jessica. And basically that's combining two or more people. Even
I kind of understand. There are also a few artists on DA who, and this was more of a meme that they were doing, where they were taking, say, one artist's character, and they would take another popular artist's character and another one, and they would do this image where they would have 3 characters, and between each of the characters they would do like a fusion of what that one would look like if it were paired with another one, and then in the center of the image they had all 3 of them fused together at once, so they would have different elements of each girl.
Like, one of my favorite things in life would be combining several of your favorite anime characters. In my case, I would pick multiple girls, 2 or more, from some of my favorite anime girls, and I fuse them together. That's what I would do. But
I like that because in a way it's also a beneficial way of creating your own characters, and creating someone new and original who, I see.
Yeah, that's kind of what Jasmine is supposed to be. She is basically kind of inspired by Shizuku and Hinata, those 2 characters I told you about earlier. And I once thought of I should fuse those 2 girls together, and then when I was creating this new gender in that story, I then thought of using Shizuku and Hinata as references to create this girl. So basically she's like a fusion of those 2. I
see. I actually kind of like that, man.
You know Hinata from Naruto Shippuden, right?
Oh yes, I'm familiar.
And well, I talked with you before about Camper. I don't know if you're going to watch an anime or not, because I don't want to spoil you.
I do intend on watching it. I haven't been able to because I've been so busy with work this week.
Well, I don't think there's a problem with showing the character. Do you have a problem with that?
No, not at all. Okay.
I'm going to Google her. I'll show an image of her. Alright, here's a nice one. There it is.
Oops, I opened it a couple of times. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's sexy.
Yes! Now you know why I like her.
Oh,
man. She's my favorite also because she's the most intelligent woman and also the most experienced woman in the entire series.
I see. I like that a lot too. I like characters like very intelligent, very commanding. Like I think leadership. I think leadership is really sexy to me. Like I don't know, it's a weird thing of mine, but like women who take charge, like that's such a huge turn on to me. It's really weird.
She is one of those characters who has authority.
Very nice.
Yeah, you don't mess with her. She has some nice fan service. I like her way too much.
Now, like, what do you like to do outside of DeviantArt? Like, if you're not browsing DeviantArt or if you're not making stuff for DeviantArt, like, what do you like to do?
If I have a new video game, I'm going to play that most likely, which I'm waiting for, but because I can't seem to find the game I'm looking for.
What game is that?
Samurai Warriors 4.
That's a branch off of the Dynasty Warriors series, right?
Yeah, it's based on the Sengoku era of Japan, with one of my favorite historical figures, Oda Nobunaga, because he is a rather interesting fellow.
Oh, Nobunaga?
Yeah, but in fiction he's always seen as a tyrant. Historically, he even said that he never believed in a next life and in a god.
Oh, really?
And yes, he was way before his time.
No kidding.
He did participate in ceremonies, and he had an interest in dancing and archery and other things. He always did things differently, and people other warlords in that time looked at him with, what the hell is with this guy? Because he was unpredictable.
Yeah, you seem to really know your stuff, man.
Well, nah, I don't know much yet about the Japanese history. I only have read some things, and I know this in particular.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, so I know my history about what Dynasty Warriors is based on, but I'm very bad at explaining it.
It's okay.
I can't remember everything always.
Oh, sure. Well, I completely understand.
Here and there. But yeah, reading Asian history and reading mythology and playing video games are some of my hobbies. And some of my other activities are that every Wednesday I go to archery lessons.
Oh, archery. Very cool, man.
Yes, I was inspired by all those military officers. Well, I wanted to learn something for myself. So that's what I do outside of DA. And I walk with my dog, obviously, but also one of my things.
Do you watch TV at all? I mean, do you watch movies, listen to music?
I watch TV very little. Mostly on Sundays, otherwise I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news because I get a bit emotional when I see all those people who suffer in other countries.
Oh, yeah.
So my grandfather says, you must look at it for information, you must not look at it emotionally. It's just, I just feel bad for those people. So I don't really watch the news.
Understandable.
Yeah,
I don't really watch the news much either. It's very depressing.
Yeah, it's very depressing. You want to help those people some way, but you can't, and then you feel kind of powerless, and you feel sad for them. I do listen to music, mostly when I go on walks with my dog. But the songs I currently listen to are Japanese.
Oh, okay. Like J-pop?
I don't know, different, all kinds of different genres, but they are songs for the characters of Dynasty Warriors. They are also sang by the voice actors of those characters. But anyway, I listen to Japanese, and I even sing it.
I mean, do you just sing because you've read the lyrics, or do you actually know some Japanese?
I know barely Japanese. I know a few words, like every other person who watches anime.
Like, what kind of plans do you have for your DA account? Because for me personally, as somebody who is watching your work and is, at this point, kind of invested in some of your characters, I'm curious, what do you have planned in terms of, do you have some stories you want to hash out? Do you have new characters that you've thought of that you haven't really developed yet? I mean, what kind of ideas are you toying with for the future of your DA account?
Well, it's a bit hard because mostly I'm good at playing around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to focus a story on Lulu. That's definitely something I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I also want a story that reveals Lucille and her club, but I'm not sure when I'll create that and what I'll exactly do with it. I can't say much other than that I'm going to create those stories when I'll feel like it, because
Sure.
if I'm not interested in it at the moment, then I just can't create it.
No, I completely understand, because as somebody who has ADHD, there are some times where I come home from work and I really want to create stuff. I do, but man, I just don't have any motivation to do it. And you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it half-hearted, because then you're just gonna, you're not gonna produce quality, right? Or you're gonna make something and you're not gonna be really proud of it. So
Yeah.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
One of my favorite characters, most likely from your list, is Reese. Also.
Yeah. She's definitely the prankster of my group.
Okay, every boob. That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite things about her. She must poke Louise.
Very easily distracted by big boobs. And that's kind of like my little nod, because you know how you put a little bit of yourself into every character that you create. Like Reese is definitely like my pervy side. I don't know. I guess in a way I never really thought about it before. But like, if I ever did do an alternate version of myself, like a female version of myself, it would probably just be Reese. In all honesty, like, because she's basically my sort of goofy but my perverted sense side, because she's really into big boobs, and I guess she'd kind of be like almost like my female persona in a way.
Yeah.
But
that thought will never leave me again.
Oh no! I hope I didn't ruin Reese for you forever.
No. It only makes her that only makes her more likable to me. Because just like you, I also have this thing where I put a bit of myself in each and every character. Because Lucille, she is basically this character that loves to dance and to sing, to express herself in that way. And although I do sing a little bit, I can't dance. That's something I'm embarrassed about. But she's kinda that desire personified, that I can do those things. Like, that's kinda what Lucille is to me. She is.
Oh yeah.
I never saw people dance in real life or anything, but when I saw things like in Dynasty Warriors, you had those music weapons like a flute, or you had Jiao Chan with her whip and she'd dance.
Mm-hmm.
I really like those kind of characters where they fight with musical instruments and they dance and they kind of sing or let out noise with their instrument. And yeah, Lucille's kind of that desire personified that I could do such things, or had the knowledge to do such things in such a way that it wouldn't be embarrassing or something for me. And well, she had a club also with the whole, which, spoiler alert, not really. But her club is basically will be full of different kind of girls who master different kinds of singing and dancing, kinda, and she is the owner of that, and she employs those basically, because I see dancing and singing as a kind of art.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what her club is kind of going to be showing then. But
oh, okay.
I really want that to be perfect in my eyes, and I'm really nitpicky. So
I like that idea.
Like you said, you put a bit of yourself in each character you have. You can see that if you know the person yourself, obviously.
Right. Exactly.
Although I didn't expect to hear that Reese is kinda your more perverted side and goofy side, but it's not really that obvious, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those things that I never really thought of it up until recently, but I was like, boy, like Reese is kind of like if I were female, that's what I would do. Like, that's how I would behave, and that's what I would, that's what I think to myself. Because, like, if I were female, I definitely wouldn't be Quinn. I wouldn't be any of the other girls on the list. But, like, when I look at Reese, I'm like, oh my god, I would act like Reese. I would be a complete, just loony nutcase and just trying to make people laugh.
To be honest, you would be attracted to yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Even if you look at the mirror, you would be yourself.
And I could see Reese doing that. I could see Reese constantly looking in a mirror, oohing and ahhing.
Yes.
Now, do you have any last parting words that you would want to share with any of the listeners? Any advice that you would want to give to anybody?
Well, as parting words, I'd like to say, don't be shy to talk about me, about anything, about my gender-bending stuff or any other fetishes I have. Mm-hmm. If there's any advice I'd like to give, don't be afraid to show your fetishes in some way, one way or another, because fetishes are a part of who you are as a person, and if you want to express them really badly, I would advise you to create an account on DA and create the things you've always imagined. Do what you want to do, and do it in every way possible. Just find a way to do what you want to do.
Yes, I completely agree. You have to embrace your fetishes and your sexuality. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't let people make you feel bad for it. Like what you like and not be ashamed of it.
Exactly.
I agree with your words. Completely.
Well, glad I didn't ruin that part.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Beware, the mutant-seeking sentinel.
Target identified. Mutant apprehended. Want to mix it up, big boy? My adamantine claws will get rolled back. I've always had trouble with man. My optic blast will give him trouble. Firing projectile arm. Now, Sentinel, you will be defeated.
Sentinel robot playset and X-Men action figures. Each sold separately. X-Men. Get it!
Natty is also sleeping, and if I move the laptop, she awakes.
Oh no.
She awakens.
Waken the beast.
Yes, are you talking with your friends again?
My grandmother does not sound like that. She wears an eye patch.
Oh, really?
My grandmother is blind in one eye because she had a stroke, and instead of losing her, muscle, I don't know, when you have a stroke, you lose control of your muscles, right?
Yeah, usually like one side, I think.
Yeah, but instead of that happening, she lost sight in her eye, which sucks, but between the two, I'd rather lose one eye than, lose half of my body.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, she wears an eye patch because she can't see anything, but she could see, the outlines and the shadows of what's going on. Like, if it's bright out, she could see, brightness.
Yeah.
So she has to wear an eye patch, or, it strains her eye more, and it could hurt her.
Oh, I was gonna say, your non sounds like she could look like a superhero.
Oh my god, she looks like a pirate.
I was just gonna say that, Granny Pirate.
You know what? I was actually gonna say that, but I didn't want to seem rude, you know?
She's also like Grumpy Cat, so it's like you're a Grumpy Cat pirate.
Oh, that's amazing!
Grumpy Cat pirate dress.
I love Grumpy Cat so much.
Well, 'cause she's like always grumpy.
You wanna know what's fucked up? For Halloween, I barely got any candy.
So, you're what are you, 24? Buy your own fucking candy.
Candy.
Laughing like Scrappy Doo.
I know. I always tell people like I laugh like a '70s villainous Hanna-Barbera dog.
No, it wasn't Scrappy Doo. It was Scooby Doo.
It was. Did you ever watch that Hanna-Barbera cartoon with the
Oh wait,
racing?
yeah, I knew it was a dog.
It was Muttley, right?
Muttley, yeah. I laugh like Muttley sometimes.
I don't know that cartoon.
Oh, it's okay. It's a really old one. I think they used to draw it on cave walls because I'm a really old man. So.
So yeah, you wanna know something about nose? You know Dick Dastardly?
Oh yeah.
I always found it kind of funny that he looks almost exactly like Waluigi.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
I don't know who that is.
Hang on, let me see if I can get a picture of him.
Oh, I know Dick Dastardly.
Yeah, he was the guy that owned the dog.
Yeah. Oh, I know that series, but they had different names in my. I can't remember the names. It was still English.
You mean Wacky Races?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I remember that show. I used to watch it every time it came on Boomerang. Yeah.
Yep.
You're not that old if we know it too.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel old.
How could
something? Well, you know, since last night was Halloween, whenever my cousins got fat from trick or treating,
Got fat?
felt so No. Oh, one of them felt so bad. Let me finish. You guys don't let me finish anything.
Sorry.
We love you.
One of them felt so bad for making me stay up that late that they made a pile. Well, it's a girl and she doesn't know how to pronounce my name. She said, "Hey, Sophie, here's your pile." She said Sophie.
So
She just throws a whole bunch of candy on the ground. Yeah, she doesn't know how to pronounce my name.
I think we should call you Snoopy from now on.
Since I still look like I'm 15, last year when I dressed up, I was walking to my sister's studio, and people were like, "Here, come and get some candy," and I was like, "No, it's okay, I'm not.
Okay, I think we've got a nice warm start to the show. So, guys, this is the KiseCast After Hours podcast, episode 2, all about superheroes. And just really quick, I want to do a recap because everyone who has joined this chat right now could not make it to the KiseCast last Sunday. In that episode, which I highly advise everyone listening, please go listen to it. It was very good. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the topic, which was all about the newest or one of the recent updates being able to open up vaginas and whatnot, and what your opinions are.
I heard about that, so I went there, I tried it out, and I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that?
I know it freaked a lot of people out, but to me it's like, well, it's an anime, and like Rachel said, Pochi probably hasn't seen a vagina.
What is wrong with their lady parts? I've never actually...
They open and close.
Because I know he added, like, different lips to them or whatever. I don't know.
Yes.
And, like, I get that part, and I'm like, well, it kind of looks weird, but not that weird. So I was like, why is everybody so, like, gross or disappointed in, like, how they look?
Yeah, they look a little weird when you open them.
I've never opened them, so...
One of them looks kind of puffy, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I checked it out, I was like, wow. Now if only we could do this to the anuses.
I felt that free to have their butt cheeks flying in the wind.
Just whistling.
Whistling butt cheeks?
It's not for everyone, I guess. It doesn't really bother me. The only thing that really got me was when Rachel pointed out that, you know, when you click on the naughty bits, eventually they get wet and messy.
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Yeah, but they get really, really messy now.
I saw that and I was like, did she just come for a bukkake or something?
Exactly. That's what it really looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty ridiculous to me, but I don't know. That's it's what Pochi wanted. So.
What's the update? 'Cause I haven't looked at it.
You can change how the vagina looks, and then if you click on it and hold your mouse button down, they will spread. When you spread it, it doesn't look quite natural. I really think Rachel put it so eloquently when she said it looks like two worms dancing. Like she nailed it with that description.
I can't deal.
Dengeki, do you want to sound off on the Vagina Chronicles or whatever it is?
Why are you talking about vaginas?
The more you know.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late again.
Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of? Letterbox. Have you ever watched Cinema Snob? He watches all those weird things, and one of them was Letterbox. It was about a talking vagina, and that's what it looks like. There's about 4 other movies about talking vaginas, and just the movement of this thing reminds me of it.
Have you guys ever heard of the movie Teeth?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently it's this movie. The mother's a girl who has sharp teeth in her vagina.
Yeah, I know that one too.
Yeah, I think I've seen clips of that before. Somewhere.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I think that movie's based off of Japanese mythology. Because there's actually a Japanese ghost that possesses women and actually makes their vagina have teeth, so whenever the woman has sex with the guy, the vagina basically basically bites off the guy's dick, and that's why they actually have a festival out in Japan. They call it something that has to do with the phallics, because blacksmith actually created an iron dildo for the woman to actually break the teeth, so she can actually have a much more satisfying relationship with the man. And now that's why they actually celebrate, basically they have a penis day, essentially.
Thank you.
I think I've seen pictures of that. Don't they have penis suckers and everything too?
Yeah. I remember seeing stuff like that too.
I don't know about this.
All hail the phallic.
That sounds too funny.
You actually have a festival in Japan where they worship the penis. I'm serious.
I thought there was an anime that actually did something similar to that.
Probably.
Well, I can't exactly remember it. I think it's something to do with a girl with an X-shaped scar on her forehead or something.
I don't know about that.
Also, Asa has an icon of a robot guy with light.
That's Zero.
Having light nipples or what?
It's a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 comic where it basically shows Deadpool getting ready to do a wet t-shirt contest, and here comes Zero wearing a t-shirt as well, and he's like, okay, he wins, because, come on, they're glow-in-the-dark nipples.
Amazing.
I never ever seen that.
Oh yeah, Ezra. They were talking about stuff they want to see in the next update of KiseCast, right?
Oh yeah. What do you want to see?
Well, they were talking about weapons and stuff. The weapon that I want, a sniper rifle.
I want more shoes.
I want more clothes.
Jacket.
You know what I want? I want an umbrella. What?
So much.
You sound far away, Sophie.
Because the ants are.
When are we going to talk about superheroes exactly?
Yes.
Just move on from the dicks and vaginas and just go to superheroes.
I have something. I want capes.
Capes.
Yes. I want to too.
So we don't have to make them with the hair edit. Probably just backside view.
Hey, so did you have something?
Yeah, I have a few suggestions. Maybe some items from the Mega Man franchise.
Oh, like a arm cannon.
Oh, something like that. A proper speed saber. One of my OCs is just a bloody lightsaber, and that's not very accurate.
Ew, I didn't notice how bad my bed head was.
Well, we can't see it, so don't worry.
I need to brush my hair.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can.
I have a nice sounding voice. I heard my other pair of glasses, but I didn't
You heard me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
You have a nice sounding voice, I can tell you that.
I have a what?
You're gonna have a nice voice.
Thanks.
Welcome.
So good to finally talk to you guys.
We're happy to have you.
Louis,
Yeah.
what do you want in the next KiseCast update? We're talking about that.
Well, I for one would like some regal objects like scepters and more detailed crowns and capes. Capes would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
That would be nice. Maybe some new crowns.
Case.
Cape options. They would allow for so many things. And for one, some cosplay things like the mask for the Phantom of the Opera and the Hannibal Lecter mask. Some props like that would be great.
Oh yeah, that would be good too.
That reminds me of something. Do you know what I don't like? When you try to put on an apron, but you can't put anything under it.
Oh, does stuff go over it?
It depends, or it's attached to, the shirt.
Oh yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's a bit dumb. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't like it. Superheroes.
Superheroes.
I like Nightwing.
Like Nightwing.
That reminds
I
me.
love Nightwing.
Nightwing is so amazing.
And I like Wonder Woman.
Well, I don't really have one that I absolutely love, but I'd say I just go for the classics, Spider-Man for Marvel and Batman for DC. I don't go for a dark horse.
When I was a sophomore in high school, I became obsessed with DC Comics. And I got obsessed with all the Robins because I realized that there's more than one. There's a different Robin for every generation.
Oh really?
You never knew that?
No, I don't know a whole lot about DC.
The first one was Dick Grayson. The second one was Jason Todd, but he got killed. Now they brought him back. He was the first ginger Robin.
They brought him back.
There's Tim.
Gingers have no cells.
Is this from that movie, The Red Hood?
Red Hood is who Jason Todd is now, and he purposely was killing people to make it seem like Dick Grayson was killing people, but he wasn't. So yeah. There's 10,000 stories because, there's 2 different comics about them.
I remember reading Hush and Clayface disguised himself as Jason Todd to make Batman feel sorry and think he was the Hush killer, but actually they found out it was Clayface and that he wasn't Hush. Hush turned out to be a friend of Batman that had died. Yeah.
All I know is that Joker killed Jason Todd. And then, fans were actually really, really mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, back in the day, not Marvel, DC made a poll, and they all voted to bring Jason Todd back. So technically, Jason Todd's a zombie. It never explained how he came back or not.
Oh man.
He's one of my favorites, though.
That's awesome. Now, just out of curiosity, because I am a little bit of a Marvel fanboy and not so much a DC fanboy, but I'm not one of those people that, I get my panties in a twist and then say, ooh, down with DC, bleh. Do you ever get shit from people about, you suck for liking DC?
No. I like some Marvel too, but I just never got that into it.
I don't really know what I know Spider-Man. Yeah, that's about it.
And Deadpool, everybody knows who that is.
Deadpool! Absolutely amazing. I love to main him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That hyper combo of him. Sorry, say what?
I just wanted to make a quick point. You can't get your pennies in a twist because you don't have any.
How do you know? Oh, I just made things super awkward all of a sudden. Everyone's like, "Ooh, Ezra wears panties. That's crazy."
No, that's not weird at all.
I don't care if you wear panties.
Oh, dang it, Ken.
It's alright, we don't judge.
That's right. We don't judge in this group.
I don't care.
I'm genuinely curious if a lot of people are into whether it's comics or the movie universes. You know, like the movie universe Batman. Some people actually don't like the movie universe Batman.
Me neither.
The comics.
I really like the Christopher Nolan movies, and to be honest, I liked the old Batman movies up to Batman Forever. Nobody liked Batman and Robin, me neither. But the old Batman movies and the Nolan movies were great, and I'm really hyped for the new one that they're gonna make soon.
Yeah, I think Ben Affleck. I think he's a good actor, and I think that he'll do a pretty decent job playing Batman. I know he's catching a lot of flack for it, but I think he'll do fine.
Yeah. I bet people will shut up when they see the new movie and see how great he'll be.
Mm-hmm, exactly, and that's one thing I don't like about some of the comic fans is like people are so quick to immediately judge like, oh, this movie's gonna be trash because so and so actors in it. It's like
no chill.
Yeah, exactly, no chill. Love that.
I actually had a friend that's just like that, where he'll dismiss every like Marvel movie without even looking at the movie.
But the Marvel movies are great. Well, I don't watch every Marvel movie, and I don't read the comics, but I'm more of a Marvel person than DC. I mostly watch the cartoons of the superheroes from both DC and Marvel. I just like Marvel more. Well, I haven't seen all the movies, like I haven't seen the Iron Man. I'm not really invested in movies as much as most people, but I do watch the Spider-Man cartoon every Sunday, and the Avengers movie was really my favorite. I don't like Batman, and some of the fanboys are really annoying.
as Jess puts on a Batman T-shirt.
I don't think Jess is a rabid fangirl or fanboy.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Hey, Batman, I don't care.
Don't worry about it.
I'm Batman.
That's the kind of fans I can talk with. I'll give Batman a fucking uppercut.
Or maybe Batman uppercuts you.
Yeah, that's a perfect voice.
I'm a fan of Spider-Man. I'm generally a fan of Spider-Man. I like the movies. Spider-Man is well played.
Wait. You even like that really bad movie where like he starts like doing jazz hands and like dancing?
That wasn't bad.
I don't know that movie. I don't watch much movies. I only have seen the Spider-Man movie where he fights the Green Goblin, and
that's the first one.
The Amazing Spider-Man. That Spider-Man I heard is not better played, but their villains aren't well played in the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
I think it's different. I'm sorry. I think it's different because the first three Spider-Man movies, I think they transmit a bit more of the classic Spider-Man, than the Amazing movies are more like the Ultimate Universe's version of Spider-Man.
You have to see the movies as another universe. If you base it on comics, it will get ruined.
Well, that's why I don't like any of the Batman movies, but I get that.
Yeah, you kind of have to think about it as it's its own thing. You either like it or you don't.
That's what I mean. Like even with like when I said there's like 1,000 comic books, like Wonder Woman's like one of my other favorite superheroes, and a lot of times I hate how they portray her because she's not supposed to be like a typical like stereotypical like I'm a tough girl, so that makes me fit. Her original character wasn't. So yeah, there's always going to be that.
But honestly, one of the things that makes me really sad about it is, do you guys remember when back in the early 2000s and the late 90s when Disney and DreamWorks were having this little war over the animated movies and computer generated? So they, I mean, one year Disney would make a movie and then DreamWorks would make another movie that was closely related to that, and they always had this little struggle between each movie. I mean,
nostalgic critic. did something to what you're talking about, in case the listeners want an idea of what Lewis is talking about.
Like that toy movie with the soul soldiers.
Yeah,
exactly.
They always try to fight each other and try to make better movies every time. And I think that if only Marvel and DC were trying to make something similar like that, because right now Marvel is making their movie universe. They're throwing they're doing all their game right now with new releases we're seeing. And DC, we don't see it as much as that from DC. They've been betting on a few movies like Green Lantern and the Man of Steel and new Batman movies, but we don't see as much as from DC as we see from Marvel. And I think if the two of them they did a war like Disney was doing with DreamWorks back then, I think we'd see amazing movies from both sides. But I think it's a different thing because DC is betting more into games than into movies. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I'll chime in on that in a second. But Red, you wanted to say something?
I'm just gonna end this right now. You wanna know why Batman would beat Superman? You wanna know why?
Oh God!
I'll explain why. The reason why Superman sucks, fucking everybody knows Superman's fucking weakness. Everyone knows. That is why Batman will beat Superman's ass.
Well, that is why he actually did beat him, was because of getting that kryptonite ring and then just smashing Superman down. But I know every comic fan knows that argument.
Also, I'm rather rooting for Batman and Superman because Batman had to work for everything. Superman is just powerful on his own because, fuck it, he is Superman. Hell, his old version is where Superman could think up his own superpowers, and that would become one of his superpowers.
Wow.
Yes.
So, he became kind of a god right then.
One of his oldest versions. That's one of the reasons why I dislike Superman.
Did anybody think about this? All superheroes would be nothing without superpowers or certain gadgets.
Yeah, like, for instance, Peter Parker. He's a complete dork. You know, he can't really get anywhere in life, but then he gets his superpowers, and like suddenly he could have everything. But that's what makes Peter Parker interesting, is he keeps all that concealed, and he still lives that normal schlubby life that he lives.
He's still a very intelligent fellow. He could
True.
become a professor in some kind of lab.
But to go back on what Luce was talking about earlier, talking about how the movies are competing with each other. That's kind of what inspired this theme for the episode. A couple weeks ago, DC had made an announcement pretty much saying, like, look, we're now going to step it up, we're going to compete with Marvel, and we're going to make as many movies as we can, and here's our lineup. Like, they basically came in, pulled their dick out, slapped it on the table, and said, until 2020, we're going to try and run this house. And then,
amazing.
And then Marvel stepped in this week, and they said, okay, we see what DC's done. Now we're going to let everyone know what we have planned until, I think it's 2018 or 2019. So now both of them are kind of competing, and I like seeing that. Now, kind of like what you were saying with Pixar and DreamWorks, now they're going to be bouncing off of each other and really competing and trying to outdo each other. That
also contributes to the movie's excellence.
Exactly.
Them having a competitor has to make them. They have to step up their quality.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's pretty exciting to me. And Sophie is breathing in the mic.
I am.
It's a great age to live.
It is a great age to live. I Your icon is appropriate for that.
Can I say something about superheroes?
Yes, Dengeki, you go.
Okay, so I think I wasn't sure if it was you I told you or it might have been someone else, but I actually told him. I actually said that I actually have a character that's actually a superhero.
Yes, you did.
Okay. I just remade her.
Oh, did you upload her?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I can like see if I can try to like get upload on my like 4share or whatever, and they can see a picture of her remake.
Sure. And that's a good segue really quick into and I want you to keep talking in a bit. I want you guys all to think about, like, if you could create a character, because I've got that contest that's going on where you can dress your OC as a superhero or whatever, and you can also talk about if you could have your own superpower or whatever. But yeah, go ahead and take it away, Dengeki.
Hey, well, I got it uploaded. I knew it wasn't going to take that long, because... There you go. There's a picture of the remake. And it looks completely different from what she looks like now. And I like it.
Yeah, very nice. I like her hair a lot.
That's actually a little something I discovered on what to do, on how to do hair in that program. It makes it look really smooth.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Actually, talking about creating a superhero character, I talked in the past with one of my colleagues who also at Marvel DC, and then we thought of our own superheroes and thought of our own story. Didn't have a name for it yet, a normal name, but that was supposed to be a character that had wait, I'm going to Google words.
Okay. For those that don't know, he's from the Netherlands, so English isn't his first language.
I am the outsider.
No, you're not.
Don't worry, I'm also an outsider, but I got it in English, so I don't think it should be a problem.
That he was an internship at a lab, then something obviously would go wrong. What a cliche. That something would go wrong, and then he gained his superpowers, and the superpowers would be that he could create and manipulate fire from his body. The superhero name I thought of for him would be Dragonfire.
Very nice.
And at some point, he would die in the story, but then I didn't think that how he would be revived, but then he would be some kind of elemental, actually, that he would be complete fire. He would also have a friendship with the Human Torch, and also a bit of a rivalry with him, because they also had fire powers.
Is it okay if I, talk about one of my characters that I have?
Sure.
She's kind of like a superhero.
Yeah.
Well, some people might have seen her already. She's one of my more popular characters. Her name's, JT, that stands for Densubaki. She doesn't like to be called that. And she's like a demon, and she likes to hurt people. But she's...
Oh, God!
But she's like in this group called the Rose Guardians, where they had to do this thing to swear to protect everybody in the world, but she hasn't been doing that.
No, it doesn't sound like it. So what would her superpower be? Hurting people?
No. No.
Let me guess. Super strength to hurt power.
She's more like the side that has gadgets and stuff. She just carries these 2 guns and shoot people with them.
Oh, okay. So it's something like the Punisher. Like they're just crazy.
If you piss her off, she'll just shoot you.
Okay, yeah, sounds exactly like the Punisher.
Without all the skulls or the AK-47s or the whole my family got killed.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Red?
Yeah, I actually want to talk about the few my characters. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I actually used to have this character that had superpowers. It's kind of weird though. Yeah. Basically, her story is she used to be a scientist, and one day she was in her lab, and she tripped and some chemicals fell on her breast.
And she grew mega breasts.
Yes!
Don't tell me that's true. Don't tell me. Don't tell me that's true.
Is this the lame one that's named Coca-Cola or something?
What did Red say? What's her superpower?
Hold on. I was talking about her story. I said some chemicals fell on her breasts, and now her breasts have superpowers.
I knew it! I called it! Fly through the sky!
Onward super titties.
Oh my god.
Mega Milk.
It's the real Mega Milk.
Cows get be replaced.
That's exactly what I'm going to call her, Mega Milk. That's exactly what I'm going to call her.
We have Mega Mind, Mega Man, and now Mega Milk.
There we go.
That's exactly what I'm going to call her now.
Does she choose seriously, like, headshot? And then
You need to submit that, Red.
they fly straight into the wall.
I'll probably submit her when I get the chance. And also, I have another character. She kind of has superpowers. Yeah, my character Yuri, she's a rock star, and she got her powers from the gods of rock. So yeah, she basically has rock powers, I guess. Also, she's very strong too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Kind of sounds
cool.
like a character I made for a tabletop RPG game called Palladium Rifts, and the character is basically a demigod of metal, but on paper is technically classified as a bard, but actually wields a runically powered electric guitar.
Oh, and speaking of Dengeki, what is the power? Oh boy, grammar. What are the powers of Otamiya, the girl that you posted?
Otamiya, she's basically an embodiment of radioactivity.
Ooh, okay.
Basically, Otamiya was actually a guy that was pursuing a career in nuclear engineering, and actually got trapped inside of a nuclear power plant when it melt down, and he got radiated. And because of that, it's screwed him up, turned him to a girl, and has superpowers. That's radiation.
Very nice.
I can think of is Homer Simpson.
With superpowers.
Because he works never mind.
He works at a nuclear power plant, I know.
Yeah.
Sophie, you were saying something.
I just want to point this one thing out.
Mm-hmm.
Supergrass is better than having a super vagina.
What?
I guess
Wait,
that's true.
I couldn't hear. I honestly couldn't hear. What did you say, Sophie?
She said having super breasts is better than having a super vagina.
That laugh is sincere, damn it.
I totally agree. I agree with Sophie. Super brass.
Man with my... Don't judge me.
Okay, so we've kind of run the gamut of our OCs. Now, I know that everybody at some point in their life, when you were a kid, or even to this day, like I'm still guilty of doing the same thing. You think about superpowers, right? And if you could have some kind of a superpower, what would you have? And just throw an example of what you would do with it, right?
Well, I know.
Yo, go Red.
You know something.
I thought about this, and if I had any superpower, the superpower I would want is every time I give somebody the middle finger, they explode.
I'd need that for so many people. You guys don't even imagine. I'd be branded as a mass murderer.
What was I didn't get?
I'll give you the middle finger. You die.
No weaknesses.
That was something I always wanted to happen.
You can cut his birdie finger off. True.
Oh no! Well, yeah, everyone would be after your middle finger, Red.
What a blast that would be.
But
My superpower that I'd want to have is flight, so I can just kick birds out of the sky and say, "It's my sky now."
That's amazing. What a great choice.
No, the sky is just me flying in the sky, just pushing birds down.
just punching birds.
Ironically, I'd also need that to study for biology. Hey, look, that's a rare specimen I can photograph up close. Come here, bird.
Bird, what are you doing?
Speaking of birds.
Okay, who's next?
Well, it's not kind of much of a superpower, but I don't know if you guys ever heard of the concept of stands from... Okay, this is gonna be a little bit nerdy.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. In that manga, people have... their hearts can transmit a sort of a neural energy that manifests as some sort of a ghost. That ghost has a power for each person. I mean, there's a guy that can stop time, a guy that can summon flames. And back a few months ago, when I was part of the JoJo's community, someone asked me to think of my own stand, and I was like, well, okay. And you know how they usually have musical themes? People call them after names like Killer Queen, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And I saw something. It was supposed to be a stand called Sympathy Pewter because of sympathy for the devil. And supposedly it's a guy that looks a bit like a fighter, a jet fighter. It has hands for feet and can pick me up, so I can travel huge distances. And the greatest part of it is that it had a laser eye that wherever the laser pointer was touching, it would be swarmed by a handful of rapid firing fisticuffs. So basically, you just have to look at a guy and bam, it gets bludgeoned to death.
So it's basically a jet fighter with the fighting style Hokuto no Ken from normal stuff.
Yeah, except it doesn't make you explode or anything.
Fucking bitch. You basically made Kenshiro as a fighting jet.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
God.
Pearl Harbor is already avenged.
Wow.
Well, that was a bit early. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. I think Pearl Harbor was due for a joke.
Yeah, but that was basically it.
Very nice.
I've got an idea. Right now I can imagine Thomas, the choo-choo train, or whatever he's called, just run for a whole bunch of people.
Hey, Bob.
Okay.
What? I have random thoughts.
Oh, I'll say that would make a pretty cool superpower to just summon Thomas the Tank. And just run over people.
Wow.
Run over that guy over there.
It'll be something like, come on, Gordon, and he'll run at the speed of sound and run you over.
Yeah, Dengeki, you have any ideas for a superpower you would like to have?
Transformation.
Yes.
That is an obvious one, I can probably guess.
And how would you use it, sir?
However, if I'm fighting someone, I'll transform to something that will probably kill him in one hit.
That doesn't work.
Wait, what is that?
What?
Cartoon, the twins, like they put their rings together.
Yeah, the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
There we go.
Yep.
That's
Yes, do you have an idea?
I never really.
Dengeki?
I just want to add something. If there was another superpower, what I would do would be pyrokinesis. I like manipulate fire.
Mm-hmm. Jess?
I never really had one as a child or now. I guess if I really had to think of one, maybe Dr. Dolittle stuff. Talk to animals? Anyway. Or maybe control of time, I have no idea.
Yeah, you took the one that I wanted. I've always wanted to be able to stop time, and I have it for the laziest answer, too. Like, anytime I've ever said that to anybody, they've always asked, well, what, would you do something debaucherous or whatever? And I would say, no, I just like to sleep. So I would freeze time, and sleep, and then just unfreeze time.
I would want to rewind stuff so I could redo stuff.
Oh, yeah, that would be good, too.
Hey, Ezra, I completely understand. I would do that too if I could stop time. I would sleep really long.
Hey, Ezra.
Yo.
Yeah, I was just saying, if I had the power to stop time, I would use it to prank so many fucking people.
Yeah, exactly.
That too. That's what I would.
This actually kind of reminds me of this anime I just recently started watching.
What's that?
Where it's about a bunch of these high school students. They're in a literature club, and by some unknown fate, they actually start to get superpowers, and they're trying to just go on their normal lives with these superpowers.
What's it
I've
called?
heard of that.
I gotta look it up. I can't remember the Japanese name for it. Let me look it up. Just give me 1 sec.
There's one, I forget where it is. I watch so many, like, pop culture, like, movie reviewer people, and there's one, and they actually have a little series, and it's like these characters that work in a call center. They're like normal people, and then all of a sudden they get superpowers somehow, and they're like, we need to give each other super names. They go, are you an idiot? Like, this is real life, this isn't a comic book. And, like, I only watched it a few times, but I have to find out what it is. I just thought it was a great idea.
I got the name for it now. The Inoue Battle wa Nichijou Kei no Nakade. Maybe we should just copy that.
I'll never remember that name.
It's a really long name, so I'm just going to copy it and I'll post it up onto here, and then you can search it out.
And I will be the next one because I'm the only one left.
Sure.
The superpower I have been thinking of is being able to mold people, body and mind to how I want.
Hang on. Sophie, say what?
I was just saying, I could give my friend a superpower name. She's not like a really good friend of mine. I would call her Super Virgin.
Super virgin.
Anyway, mine go.
Okay, anyway, yes, Jix, back to you.
My superpower would be that I could mold people in body and mind however I want them to be. Like, they would be mentally and physically. It would be like freaking clay dolls in my hand. You know what I mean? That's actually kind of evil, but if I do it to evil people, it's not so evil. I have an army of super chicks. Hey, what do you expect? I'm perfect.
I just realized we had so many silly girls in here.
Yeah, typically.
And Dengeki's like half.
I count for half.
How so? How does he count for half a woman?
Because he's half.
I think to
Not
answer
in
the question,
literal terms, just...
the same way that you would consider yourself as half.
Oh, he's gender fluid?
I don't know.
I don't know if, Dengeki, would you say you're gender fluid, or would you use a different term?
I guess gender fluid's probably the best way to say it. I think it's more like I have half masculine. I can't speak right now. Half masculine, half feminine.
So I count as half a woman too. I'm a perverted lesbian.
There we go. So now we have 3.
If that counted, freaking Reg would be half too, and obviously
Technically, we're all at least half women because we all have an X chromosome.
This is very true.
That's true.
Yes.
Bird! Sorry.
Bird! You evil bird!
Nadia wants to chime in. If Nadia could have a superpower, what would Nadia be?
She'd probably want to be a hawk.
Oh.
If you say bird toe, I apologize. Or a bird butt.
I probably want to be a hawk too because, or a maybe a cormorant. Yeah, I'd love to be a cormorant. Those are great.
Hey, what's a cormorant? What is that?
It's, let me see if I can get you an image because my language's term for it is marine crow. So I don't know if you guys know it. Let me just try to.
Marine crow?
Yeah,
Is that kind of a rubber that goes around the coast?
Phallocrocoridae. It's cormorant. Let me just grab you guys a picture and I'll show it to you.
Sure.
God, yeah, that's a hard name to pronounce. Yeah.
I can't even type that shit.
I couldn't if I wanted to. But honestly, it's this beautiful birdie here. You know, back last semester I was doing an internship at...
Sorry.
I know, it's cute. As I was saying, that last semester I was doing an internship and at my city's park, and they have huge lakes and it's close to the sea, so every once in a while I go there in the morning to film some birds because that was my internship, and every once in a while I'd catch one of these swimming in the lake, diving for a fish. It's really awesome.
That's really cool.
I have those on tape actually, but right now I can't post them here. But
Yeah, so many superpowers that I want to have.
Yeah, me too, Dengeki, because the other superpower I would have wanted is shape-shifting, basically transforming, blah blah blah.
That's actually the first one I wanted to have.
It's pretty predictable for me because I have that fetish of going to transformation and then the fetish blah blah blah. Did you want to say something, Cortez?
Yeah, well, first of all, I wanted to ask you guys earlier, what do you think about the Batman and Robin movie?
Bat nipples.
Fucking
Bat nipples. All you can say is bat nipples, because that's
all I remember.
fucking.
Well,
Red does not like it.
well,
Red is not amused.
I thought it was pretty cold at the time.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought it was entertaining. I didn't notice the bat nipples back then.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought it was cool.
I noticed.
It's supposed to be a satire, isn't it?
I think so. Sophie!
Yeah. Green hug.
But to be honest, nothing beats the Dark Knight Rises prologue.
I'm screen hugging. I'm screen hugging everybody.
A virtual hug.
It's inappropriate.
Virtual hug.
I hugged back.
Or just hugged you back.
I'm hugging my phone right now.
Shut up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just wanted to add one more thing. It's just the fact that there's so many superpowers I would want to have. There's actually just found another one I would actually love to have.
What's that?
Basically creating material out of thin air and just making portals from one place to another.
Oh.
Which is a superpower that one of the characters from that anime I posted up actually has.
Yeah, I was reading about that. That actually does look pretty awesome.
Wait, I know a superpower how you can get every superpower.
When you're Ditto, like the Pokemon? Sorry.
Well,
Being a tiny and finding a loophole?
So he's basically like Kirby.
Kirby!
Kirby.
Hang on, there's a video game character that has a similar power, Axel from the Mega Man series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Steals DNA and copies the certain reploids of his own size.
I always thought he always got their weapons chip.
Yeah, it could be the weapons chip as well.
Does anybody know how long we've been talking?
For too long! We need to end this.
It's not over an hour.
Yeah, it's been over an hour.
Yeah, I gotta end this because I also have to do the editing for the interview with my special guest. Jix was my guest. So, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode. One thing that I want to do at the very end of every episode, I didn't do it last time, and I felt like a jackass for not doing it, so I apologize. But I want each of you to plug your account.
Alright, hold on. Because I know a lot of you don't know who I am on DA.
Yeah, because we all kind of carry different names in Google+.
Not me.
No, not Dengeki.
Dengeki, you... Never mind.
You know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna deal with your shit.
No!
But I love you!
I know you do.
My DeviantArt account is TFSquaresThing. I do a lot of KiseCast stuff, like you guys already know. And currently, I don't know what to do. I have a few projects up my sleeve, but I'm not gonna do them yet because I got so much to do. But yeah, go take a look.
Yeah, he's got some awesome work, guys. Definitely check out his gallery.
I hope I did all right.
Oh, you did fantastic.
For anyone curious, anyone with my name on DVR is Red Reaper 36. I got a lot of KiseCast stuff on there. If you want to check it out, so yeah.
Okay, so my DVR is the King of Alhoge. I'll spell it right now because I had to do that for somebody before. THEK. Wait. OFAHOGA. There it is.
She looks to the sky on DA.
There we go. Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Dengeki?
The only thing I want to promote is probably my blog spot. It's just dengekimatsuko.blogspot.com. I pretty much do any drawings that I color, I put up on there first before I do a DeviantArt. And even then, I hardly do DeviantArt Like, I actually did get a recent one uploaded to DeviantArt, but that's only because it was a collaboration with one of my friends.
My DeviantArt account is Godred01.
Alright, and then last but not least is Jix.
Oh, already. On GA, I'm called the TV Trickster. I do transformation work with Kisekai, and you could easily find me through the, if you search TVTG on DeviantArt, you will probably find one of my stories, and I hope you'll enjoy my work.
Very good.
Yep.
And then, is there anything else anybody wants to say before we end this puppy?
I do.
Keep it on.
Then Geki, you get closing words.
Penis and vaginas.
Yes! Yes!
Yes! I know!
How delicious!
There's M-bombs and shit.
I just want to say one last thing.
Okay.
Man sucks dicks.